In this video, I'm sharing 7 money stats that will shock you and maybe even change how you feel about you and your finances. You're not alone if money feels stressful right now. But when you see these numbers, you're going to realize how common your situation is. And I'm curious, which one of these stats is going to shock you the most? How do your habits stack up with the rest of the country and even the people in your state? And here's the biggest question. Why are we struggling so much when it comes to money, even though we're the richest country in the world, living at the most abundant time in human history? I'm Dr. Brad Klontz, financial psychologist, professor, certified financial planner practitioner, best-selling author. And stick around for the last stat because it just might explain why you keep making the same mistakes over and over when it comes to money. Now, let's get right into it. Stat number 1, America's credit card mountain. Trillions in credit card debt. Are you part of it? Right now, Americans owe about $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. That's the highest it's ever been. And when rates go up, which they've been doing, even a small balance can cost hundreds of dollars more each month. If you've got credit card debt, you need to make it a top priority to pay it down. The interest is absolutely brutal. Shocking stat number 2, the average cardholder in the United States owes over $7,000. Do you have a $7,000 balance? If you carry a balance, you're not alone. The average cardholder in the United States today owes around $7,321. At 20% interest, that adds up to over $1,400 a year in fees. You're literally giving this money away to the banks. And if you want to break this cycle, you're going to need to start paying more than just the minimum payment each month. And start with your highest interest rate card. And if you don't know what your interest rates are on your cards, that's your first homework assignment. Shocking stat number 3, some states, the average credit card debt is $9,000 per cardholder. Do you live in one of these high debt states? It turns out that credit card debt depends a lot on where you live. In 2025, people who lived in New Jersey, Maryland, and Connecticut averaged over $9,000 in credit card debt. In contrast, folks in Mississippi and Kentucky, they had closer to $5,000 in credit card debt. If you're in a high credit card debt state, be careful. Don't fall into the trap of trying to keep up with the Joneses. Focus on building up your saving and investing first. Shocking stat number 4, half of Americans right now carry a balance on their credit cards. Are you paying credit card interest every month? It turns out, sadly, that less than half of credit card holders pay off their credit cards in full each month. And there's a lot of misinformation out there about this particular concept. I've actually seen people argue in my comment section that it's better to not pay off your credit card balance in full, like it somehow helps your credit score. It doesn't. This is misinformation. Pay it off in full every single month. These credit cards are coming in at 20% interest or more. That means that there are millions of Americans right now paying 21 to 24% interest month after month. If you can, you need to treat your credit cards like cash. If you don't have the money to pay it off in full each month, do not use your credit cards, period. As a matter of fact, it helps to use cash. It stings more as you're buying. You're going to be more conscious of your spending, and studies show you're going to spend dramatically less by using cash. So use it as much as you can. Shocking money statistic number 5, credit card rates are at the highest they've ever been. Your credit card could be costing you more than your car loan. Credit card rates are sky high. In 2025, the average rate is around 22%, and many new cards are coming out at even higher rates. If you are carrying credit card debt balance month to month, it's like setting your cash on fire. Don't do it. Paying off a 22% card is the same as earning a 22% return on your money, except the money's going the opposite direction. Instead of you getting that interest payment, you're paying it to a bank. Shocking money fact number 6. FOMO and emotions make debt worse. Are your feelings making you broke? Most of us don't just spend money. We feel our way into spend. We buy things when we're stressed, when we're bored, or when we're excited. And credit cards make it so much easier to ignore and be unconscious about our spending. And advertisers know this. They use tons of tricks to trigger your emotions to get you to spend more money. They use FOMO. They show you pictures of people who seem to be having a fabulous life with lovely individuals, family, hot boyfriends or girlfriends, thinking that if I buy this thing, I'm going to get that kind of life, or I'm going to have that type of emotional experience. This is how they trick you into spending. They also use things like limited time deals and just the idea of a sale to get you to spend and to get you to spend more now. This is why it's so important to pause before you spend. I love the 24-hour rule. If you are trying to make a decision on buying something, put it in your shopping cart, wait 24 hours before you pull the trigger. Within those 24 hours, you're probably going to feel different. And if you were being triggered to spend because of emotions, because of FOMO, because of anxiety, fear, excitement, or feeling lonely, you're much less likely to do it after you've been able to think about it for a while. Pause before you buy. Wait 24 hours and use cash. It's really going to help you cut down your emotional spending. And this is perhaps the most shocking money fact for people. Number 7, your money beliefs might actually be the biggest financial problem you have. Is your childhood running your entire financial life? Most people don't believe that their beliefs around money come from their childhood experiences. Many of these beliefs are inherited from their parents, from their grandparents. In my research, I call these money scripts, and they shape how you spend, how you save. They predict your income, your net worth, and your credit card behaviors. For example, if you suffer with money status money scripts, you have linked your self-worth to your net worth, and you're much more likely to want to have outward displays of wealth to try to impress people. If you grew up like I grew up, if you grew up in a lower income family, we are much more vulnerable to this way of thinking and then overspending. If you are linking your self-worth to your net worth, you're much more likely to buy flashy stuff to feel better. Meanwhile, others will avoid thinking about money altogether. They'll just make the minimum payments on their credit cards, for example, and not pay attention to that balance that is compounding and getting bigger and bigger. The first step is awareness. Start asking yourself questions. What did you learn about money growing up? How does it feel to spend money? What sort of internal need is that fixing for you, at least short term? You have to get to the bottom of why you actually spend the way you do. So, in closing, which one of these shocking facts hit you the hardest? Think about your credit cards. Are you one of the half of Americans who are carrying a balance month to month and paying an outrageously high interest rate? Why are you doing this? For many people, they'll tell me, well, Dr. Brad, I'm doing it because I have to do it. I don't have enough money. And what I always say to them is think about this. Once you've maxed out all your credit cards, what are you going to do then? And when you have this discussion with people and you get them to think about it, they will say things like, oh, well, I'll have to cut down here, or I'll have to cut down there, or maybe even I have to leave my current place that I'm renting and go to a place with a cheaper rent, or maybe I got to get a roommate or two. They will come up with ideas. And what I'm just encouraging you to do before you rack up a bunch of debt that you're stuck under, and sometimes for years or even decades, you might need to make some of those hard decisions now. These facts and these stats around credit card debt, it's not meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. When you change how you think about money, you can change your life. First, start by stopping the bleeding. Put the credit cards away. Make a promise to yourself you're just not going to use them anymore. Then start tackling that higher interest rate debt. So make sure you do your homework. Which cards are costing you the most? And then be mindful of your spending and use these psychological hacks of waiting 24 hours and using cash, especially when you're around things that are slippery slopes for you. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, start digging into your psychology around money. Where did you get the beliefs you have? Where did you get the habits that you have? If you understand where they came from, you can change them. I'm Dr. Brad Klontz. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.